Hello, in this video I'm going to give you an update on my crafting cottage and the progress that we have made. We're still working on the floor, but I want to show you some of the things that we are doing with the floor. After every work session, we cover the project with a large tarp to protect it and the lumber from the weather. Our spring season usually brings us lots of rain. Our floor base was constructed with 2x6s. My floor will also be made with 2x6s. This is our first time hauling lumber for such a big project. I'm only purchasing what we need for each phase of the build. It has also been a whole new adventure for us in learning how to haul lumber. And boy, did we have an experience hauling 90 12-foot long 2x6s. I had ordered online for a pickup order. I wasn't sure if the wood would be on a pallet or bundled somehow. In all honesty, I don't think some of the people who work for Lowe's know the correct procedures for loading and transporting lumber. We were also novices at hauling lumber ourselves. It would have been nice if Lowe's had banded the wood for us, as they have the tools to do so, but we didn't know that at the time. I knew our truck could handle the load, but I wasn't sure how to keep it from falling out of the back of the truck, and that's what I was worried about. With this much weight, we could not have kept the liftgate closed, because the weight might destroy it. When we turned left pulling out of the Lowe's parking lot, we spilled half the load, blocking traffic in 2 lanes. I was thankful for the 6 or 7 men who got out of their vehicles and helped us pick up our mess. One of the men told us he didn't want us to feel alone. People were patient with us. Nobody yelled at us or honked their horns for holding them up with traffic being stopped for a few minutes. Perhaps they were sitting in their vehicles having pity on us, or just laughing at our ignorance. Anyway, the last guy gave us a cargo strap to tighten down the load. He said he didn't get to where he was without help from others. That strap has come in very handy for all the trips of lumber we have had to haul since. Tightening the load into a single solid block makes it heavy enough to stay in place. Plus, the cargo straps also have hooks that hook into the 2 hooks that are inside the truck bed to secure the load. Lesson learned. My husband is about to learn a new lesson. Watch and see what happens. He fell into the trench he had dug to run the electrical wire. We had dug it before we started building because it's much easier to dig without a structure in the way. That end of the cabin is close to the ground, but my husband is not very observant, so he stepped into this trench unaware. He didn't get hurt. I asked him if I should edit this part out. He said, no, keep it, because it's funny. I told my husband, it is better to go through life with your eyes open. Let me show you that again.
Oi. Did you not see?
You will notice that my son quickly went to work to cover the trench so nobody else accidentally falls into it again. I told my husband, it is better to go through life with your eyes open. box filling with.
Just need one over here, one more, and then 3 here, and 4 here, and then this will be done.
Jonathan is finishing up placing the rest of the braces on the remaining portion of the floor. We framed the floor to fit the width and the length of the insulation. Some pieces will have to be cut to fit. On the porch, there won't be any insulation, so you will notice the openings are smaller.
Bracing's done.
Yay! End of another work day. Some days, Jonathan's not available because he also works for various other people. And the weather is very unpredictable. So we always cover it when the work day is finished.
Probably because it's too heavy.
My grandson likes to come over and sometimes helps with whatever we have going on. On this day, they were adding short strips to create a sort of shelf to hold the thin layer of plywood that would go into each space between the floor joists and braces. Lucas starts a couple of nails, one on each end, for Jonathan to then nail the strips into their place.
Teamworks make barbecue sandwich. That's the same.
Barbecue. What? No. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe.
What you do to this?
The purpose of these little strips is to hold the plywood for a bottom floor, I guess you could call it, to place my insulation.
Yeah. Is there a Sloppy Joe dessert? I normally get Sloppy Joes and ice cream mixed together and make a milkshake.
Ugh.
I call it my protein ice cream shake.
Protein ice cream shake.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
It has 14,690 calories.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a calorie counter?
Not really.
Used to.
Do you count calories?
I used to. I don't anymore.
Jonathan set the measurements to include the 2-inch thickness of the insulation plus the 1/4-inch plywood.
I do it in tree houses.
Okay. That's just the best way to do it.
What?
Sure, some squirrels.
Seems like those doctors that get a hammer and hit your knee, see if your reflexes are right.
Yeah, not that kind of a hammer. This way, the insulation will be at the height of the floor when it is installed. Later, he will seal all the cracks around the edges to further help any bugs from crawling up into the cabin. April 4th, 2023, and I see the first actual fruit, the beginnings of a pear. Yes, how quickly the trees have filled out. Green is such a wonderful color. God knew what he was doing when he decided that trees, grass, leaves shall be green. Just, what, last week there were no leaves on this tree? Wow, how quickly the oak tree has leaves in it. Love it. I love the green. I love it when the green comes back. That's my building site. In my next video of this project, we will cover the floor insulation, and I have another little adventure to tell you about when we went to pick up the insulation. And we'll be laying down the actual flooring, which will be the same for the porch and the inside of the cabin. This project is made possible by your support, but you can help me by continuing to watch any of my YouTube videos. I have multiple playlists, so you can watch what interests you most. All my YouTube earnings plus your donations are going towards this building project. So if you'd like to help, please see the links in the video description below this video. Here we are needing to move the pile of lumber to the porch area so that Jonathan can finish the cabin floor area. As I said before, in springtime we have many rainy days, but we can't do anything, so everything's covered up, waiting for another sunny day. Trying to protect the wood, the lumber, the structure, while it's not yet fully built or dried in. Thanks for watching.